Kingborough. Oh, go ahead. Back first. Unlucky, good run. Good on Lucy Foot. Boxing.
Right, I think we're in now as Jasmine Gorry's bursting down the right here, trying to get Ulverstone off and racing. Apologies for the delay here. We've had a few technical issues just been working through, but you haven't missed any goals yet. We're down here at the Den, final day of the Women's Super League season. Ulverstone taking on Kingborough, eyeing off a perfect season. They've got an early corner. They've already had one chance, and they work it short here to Foot. Foot showing strength. Georgia Foot gets around another, then chips one right back towards the sister. Couldn't quite pick her out though. And they'll be able to repel here the Lions through Tatton. Eventually closed down there by Elizabeth Wells. And a throw in. So the teams for you for this morning / afternoon's contest here. Ulverstone in goals, number 21, Georgia Anderson, Susanna Blackwood Beattie, Christy Cox-Haynes, Georgia Foot, Lucy Foot, Jasmine Gorry, Emily Nellis, Lucy Reimer, Melanie Sims, Tiela Witter and Elizabeth Wells. That's the starting lineup for Ulverstone. Aitken, Hardy, James and the hero of last week, Sims, on the bench as Georgia Foot gets clattered to there in the middle, and we throw in Ulverstone's way. The Kingborough lineup: Mallory Clark, Phoebe Clifford, Isabel Dadswell, Laura Davis, Isabel DeSmit, Grace Furness, Olivia Gardner in net, Madison James, Airlie Lawson, Christabel Moore and Emile Tatton. On the bench we've got Claire Edwards and Erica McIntosh. A couple of late scratchings there. Ishka Mackay and a potential goal of the year winner in Lila Hickman. If you're just joining us, apologies for the delay. We are rearing to go here as Ulverstone chasing a slice of Tasmanian footballing history, looking to complete a perfect season. They've gone 20 wins from 20 games. The only team that's beaten them this year are the Kingborough Lions, and that was in the Cup. Jasmine Gorry didn't find the back of the net that day, and she's unable to get in behind of Lawson here, who will just play it back before working it forwards. Christabel Moore there, but working back was Lucy Foot and Georgia Foot. Two of the red-hot favourites for the Optus medal tonight. Georgia Foot swinging this one inside. Dadswell dealing with it. Good ball too from Dadswell. Furness trying to make something happen, but now that springs to Lucy Reimer, who's driving at the defence here. Lucy Reimer centering ball towards Jasmine Gorry. Lions defence. Whisk it away. Get used to this pattern today. With the Lions pegged back deep in defence and Ulverstone probing. I think that'll be a pattern we can expect. Lucy Reimer.
Bill, go, Bill!
So the fun morning with technology continues. Apologies for that, but Ulverstone again. Corner.
Let's go! On your mark!
Have an early goal just to settle the nerves. Taken short on this occasion by Reimer. Swung in there by Blackwood Beatty. The Lions defence already doing plenty of backs to the wall defending. In the opening few exchanges here. Plenty of football flowing through Lucy Raimo. Chips one in the Gorrie direction. Lucy Foot now pouncing on it. Lucy Foot scored a fantastic goal last week. She lays this one back to Georgia Foot. Georgia Foot turns onto the left. Tried to pick out her sister, couldn't do so. Christabel Moore gives it up though to Smith. Foot to Foot. Back to Foot. And now Jasmine Gorrie, who's offside. Piece of keeping there from Olivia Gardner, but all for naught. The offside flag had been raised against Jasmine Gorrie, which is something we see a bit of. Just plays off the last shoulder of that defender. Which does lead to a straying occasionally. Laura Davis's first real involvement here. Such a key mover for the Kingborough Lions. The dark horse perhaps tonight for the medal. Has had plenty of good games. Third on the goal scoring charts. There's a free kick blown in favour of the Lions here. Isabel Dadswell striding up to take, and the Lions pushing everyone up for it. Just Lawson back. Swung in, easily repelled. Now Jasmine Gorrie controls and then brings a lovely ball there, and Ulverstone are in business here as it's cut back again to Gorrie. Gorrie continuing her run. Jasmine Gorrie just over the crossbar. Wasn't far away, just tried to finesse it in there, top window. Almost did just that. Some nice play from Christy Cox-Haynes in the build-up. Jasmine Gorrie just unable to apply the finishing touch. So here's Georgia Foot. Down the line for Lucy Raimo. Shipping one across towards Cox-Haynes. Nods on. Jasmine Gorrie's got great speed and she gets there first. Centres it. Here's a chance for Smith. Oh, what a hit from Smith. Picks out the top window, and Ulverstone are off to the races here on Coronation Day at Lightwood Park. They make the perfect start. And Jasmine Gorrie squaring it up here for Melanie Smith, who takes one touch, and the second one is to rocket it well out of Gardner's reach. And it is the perfect start here for Ulverstone and for Melanie Smith. And after around about 14 minutes of game time, it is 1-0 the way of the visitors, doing as they have done throughout the season. The Lions looking to mount an immediate response. Going to build something down the right. Georgia Anderson wasn't the kindest back pass to her. Does well to just kind of clear the area. Moving up and under. All right, come back their way. Smith the goal scorer. Back in a more familiar position now. Blackwood Beatty. Now Cox-Haynes. Cox-Haynes gets a bit of a marker and might have a chance to put a cross in here. Goes low to the near post. No one making that run. So Anderson launching it. Look at that. Tiela Weeder for Ulverstone. Let that run through the legs of Gorrie. Now Lucy Foot to step herself on the game. Back to Wells. Cox-Haynes. Tiela Weeder trying her luck from distance, but didn't get the purchase she was after on that shot. Fantastic strike it was from Smith, although she's put Wells under pressure here. Knocks it back to Anderson. Anderson to Smith, works it further afield for Weeder. This is a promising build-up, and Jasmine Gorry just put it into her path, but it was too far ahead of even the speedster that is Jasmine Gorry. Gardner to go along. I think the last touch coming off Blackwood Beattie there. Be a throw in the Lions' way as they try and make some inroads here. Now Gorry there on the touchline. It's Lucy Foot starting the year as the player coach. Mel Gorry now officially in the role as the head coach and put up together as candidates for Coach of the Year in the Super League. One of many awards revealed tonight. Tatton drives this one low. It falls in the direction of Davis, but the Ulverstone defence able to work it away. Lucy Foot now jumps on it. Slides it back inside to Yellow Weeder. Now Lucy Reimer on the left. Having a run at Dadswell. Trying to play a 1-2 with Gorry. Eventually stepping in was Madison James, clearing the area. Jasmine Gorry the target of that throw. They'll get a second chance, and Gorry peels off now, but Clifford able to intercept and work it forward there. Emily Nellis, a sterling season she's had. Rock in the Ulverstone defence. Gorry with a slightly heavy touch, almost turning an alright pass though for Lucy Foot, who just makes it look like she has all the time in the world. She turns and slides it through for Reimer, and Reimer puts the cross in looking for Gorry, but couldn't get it past Dadswell. And then Mallory Clark unable to keep it in on the wing there for the Lions. Reimer trying to get through Dadswell. Plays it back for Wells. Rather skewed that pass. Lucy Foot tracks it back and chips it in the Clifford direction. It clears the area and just puts it out in front of Laura Davis and says, go get it. Not a bad policy. Davis, for the first time with the ball at her feet and able to run at the Ulverstone defence, but Georgia Foot doing it nicely. Takes it wide into a non-threatening area. Tries the little back heel, but lacked the sufficient support there, Davis. So the points to Georgia Foot in that first real duel between the two sides. Foot. Weeder. Line for Lucy Reimer. Reimer charges past James. Couldn't get past Dadswell though, who's a crossing coverage. So Jasmine Gorry weaving inside and then tried to square it up there for Lucy Foot. Couldn't pick her out. Reimer to the top of the box before the goal scorer could get there. The Lions pounce and Laura Davis is in here if she's onside. The flag stays down and Davis trying to run in behind Nellis, who slides in and makes an outstanding block. Great piece of defending there from Emily Nellis. Works it to Lucy Foot. Couldn't keep her pass in. Working it down the line there towards Cox Haynes. Have a look at that. Nellis sliding challenge, an absolute beauty, that one. Again, the flag raised on Jasmine Gorry. Lucy Foot the target of this one. Tatton shadowing her. Lucy Foot turning out of trouble. Back to Smith. Great ball that from Smith and then slid through for Jasmine Gorry, who's tumbled down in the box and told to get up. Getting enough of the ball there was Lawson. He sends it further afield. Nellis able to deal with that one. Lovely day down here at the Den at the moment. Been a few spatterings of rain about. Driving down here, certainly thought it could be a little bit dicey, but the sun is out, the sky is blue, and for now, at least, we have a pretty good day for football. I'm not sure how long that's going to last, but let's enjoy it while we've got it. There's Madison James attacking down the right for the Lions. Her cross can't quite find its way to Davis. Weeder taking it down. Put in there from Cox Haynes. Now Wells. Back to Cox Haynes. Blackwood Beattie did well. Got a pass out there to Lucy Foot, and they might spring an attack here. The switching ball's on for Foot. That's what she wants to play, and she hits it to absolute perfection. Great chance for 2-0 here, and buried comfortably in the back of the net by Lucy Reimer. That's a wonderful move, end-to-end stuff from Ulverstone. They take a 2-0 lead, and how's the ball from Lucy Foot here? One look up, saw the pass was on, takes the defender right out of the picture. One touch to control and curling it into the top window, Lucy Reimer. They are on a mission here today, Ulverstone. They've come down looking to finish off their season in style, to make it a perfect 21. And they are well on their way now. A 2-goal lead. Just tick past 20 minutes here. And the quality of football they're producing is just underlining why they're yet to be defeated this season. Lions looking to counter here, but Nellis with the situation under control before Clark can get there. Davis almost pouncing, and now Tatton just past the post. Anderson, a mistake there, nearly caught out. Just missed the goal kick completely. Almost Davis pouncing on it initially. It went to Tatton, who saw the empty half of the net, tried her luck. Couldn't quite kick out the far corner. Lions' best moment in attack on the game. Foot doing everything in midfield. Taylor Weeder in there. Now Smith to Nellis. Broken up by Madison James. James looking for the lightning rod that is Laura Davis up top. They'll try and hit her feet whenever they possibly can. A real talisman of this side. Here's Clifford. Clifford sends it wide, and Christabel Moore unable to track that one down in time. Ulverstone bench there. Subs on their feet. Pretty content with things, I should have thought. The Ulverstone girls, it's been a perfect start, and it doesn't look like they're going to be any real nerves or concerns about protecting this perfect record based off what we've seen thus far. They are firmly in command, as they have been pretty much the entirety of 2018. Lucy Foot doesn't get a free kick there. And the Lions trying to build. Davis surrounded by those purple shirts though. Cox Haynes. Cox Haynes down the line for Jasmine Gorry. Jasmine Gorry chipping it into the box. The Lions don't really deal with it. Reimer pouncing on it, and here's the dangerous Smith, who is bombing forwards and has already scored one goal. Now the Lions with a chance here. It's going to be Mallory Clark. And Anderson will collect that one. Oh, Davis. Almost there, up against Foot. It's worked back, and that's a very, very ambitious effort, that one. Phoebe Clifford. Nowhere near in the end. trying to spark her team with the miraculous. Always a really low percentage effort. Anderson, Jasmine Gorry. I don't know if she can stay on sides in a good position here. Ball just a bit too narrow though, allows Gardner in, who smashes it away onto the head of Smith. To the middle of falls, Davis beaten to it by foot. Phoebe Clifford. And a good head up by the captain, Georgia Foot. Christabel Moore. Just unable to keep that one in on the near touchline there. Cox Haynes. Off the side of Georgia Footspeed. Heads it to Tatton. Tatton just chips it up in front of Laura Davis, who's going to get there first. Anderson off her line here. She tries to catch her out, and a big chance here and missed. Oh, glorious opportunity for Mallory Clark. Just couldn't make the sufficient contact. And a real let off there for Ulverstone, who might be threatening back the other way here. They've turned defence into attack in the blink of an eye. Lucy Reimer looking to get in behind. Well defended by Isabel Dadswell. So we'll have a look at the chance up the other end. Laura Davis with a shot, parried back. And that needs to be buried there from Mallory Clark. Won't get many better chances than that. Did fall to her on the left foot with the goals at her mercy. Lets Anderson off, who just a couple of times today has put the ball into the path of Lions players. Albeit a fairly decent initial save from a tough angled shot as Lucy Reimer now chips this one to the back post. Just a little too much on it. Cox Haynes was arriving. That floated over her head before she could arrive to apply the finishing touch. Here's Gardner. Sends it wide, and a poor ball that one from Gardner. And her teammates no favours there. Blackwood Beatty quick to take the throw to Jasmine Gorry. Trying to get in behind of Lawson, does so successfully. Now takes it wide, driving to the byline, and her cross is blocked by Dadswell. Behind for an Ulverstone corner. One chance for the left foot of Lucy Reimer. See if she can make something happen. Been pretty good with the set piece delivery.
Go Suze, go Suze. Maybe six. Corner, corner.
Reimer takes it short to Blackwood Beatty. Back to Reimer. Turns it to Blackwood Beatty. Put it behind her a bit though. This will allow the Lions defence to pounce. Almost an opening there. Nellis with a good firm pass, and Jasmine Gorry's offside. Wouldn't have got to it anyway. The wind just starting to pick up here now as Gardner punches this one in the Lucy Foot direction. Move forward, clever ball for Christabel Moore. Well played by Phoebe Clifford. Moore loses a footing though, that was an inopportune moment. Now Lucy Foot. Out to Lucy Reimer. Jasmine Gorry is offside, so they have to go and switch things up instead. And that's a good ball. Is Gorry onside this time? She is. She takes it into her preferred right foot. That's surely a penalty. No. Wow. I guess she took the advantage, but I think she would have preferred the spot kick there, Jasmine Gorry. That certainly should have been a penalty, and she's been penalised for soldiering on there. If she just had have stayed down, I thought she gets it, so somewhat stiff there. Here's the Ulverstone speedster, who I believe needs 2 goals to beat Lucy Johnson's goal scoring record. She might have another chance here. She tracks this one down. Looks up. She's going to drive and go herself here. Jasmine Gorry. She does do it herself. Well, she gets her goal anyway. perhaps a little bit of justice at play there. And just beating Gardner at a near stick. People won't be happy with that, but Gorry looked up, considered putting the cross in, then went, nah, I'm going to do this myself. Beats one. And Gardner just leaving too big a gap there at the near post, and Gorry finessing home. Goal number 3 for Ulverstone. It's party time down at the Den for this remarkable team who, after 30 minutes of play, are well and truly on their way to completing the perfect season. 3-0 in complete control of this game, firmly in the ascendancy. And Jasmine Gorry now gets on the score sheet about a minute after she should have had a penalty. So the Lions now on the attack. Cross won't be able to find Davis though, but when it goes, a goal kick. In product just not quite been there so far from Clark. Work there from Weeder, sends it down the line. Cox-Haynes, Lucy Foot, back to Cox-Haynes. Gorry will be offside this time if she plays it, was aware of that. Controlled at the back here by Lawson. Couldn't find James though. Ulverstone will get a throw in a good position. Cross looking for Gorry, almost finding it too. Gathered by Gardner eventually. So as against the quick release. And eventually we'll send it towards Phoebe Clifford and they'll get the throw in this time the Lions. Blackwood Beatty puts that one on the roof there. Mr. Belmore. Back to Tatton. Tatton gets past Weeder. Couldn't get past Georgia Foot though. Now Lucy Foot. Lucy Reimer. Back to Georgia Foot, who's continuing to run. She's marauding forwards here, and that's a lovely ball for Jasmine Gorry, who took it down. Couldn't quite manufacture it past Gardner in the end. Cracking ball that from Georgia Foot. In the end, Gorry's touch just took her into the path of the keeper. Here's Elizabeth Wells. Wells against Clark there on the wing. Bit of a trek down the hill there for Wells. 10 minutes remaining here. 0-0 at Darcy Street between South Hobart and University at half time. 0-0 between Zebras and Lonnie City as well. All the goals in here at the Den at the moment. His foot is beaten to it there by Moore. Moore springs it out for Clifford, who chased earnestly but was always up against it. Throw in. Lucy Foot works it back. Lucy Reimer. Switching flanks throughout this one has Reimer. Now Foot to Weeder. Back to foot. Jasmine Gorry. Gorry chipped it, but Lucy Reimer hadn't made the run she was expecting there. Held her position. Now Jasmine Gorry again charging after this one. Defended away though, but the Lions increasingly under siege. Here's Georgia Foot. Beats one. Georgia Foot drives straight at Gardner, who's able to gather it. They're knocking on the door yet again, Ulverstone. They're sensing a big victory to end the season in some style. Who knows, the individual performances may yet prove important in deciding this medal. Jasmine Gorry's got the golden boot wrapped up, and Anderson the golden glove. It's going to be a decent night for Ulverstone, you'd suspect. It's been a pretty good afternoon for them too. They're playing some quality football here, up 3-0. Not looking troubled. Could be even further ahead, arguably. Creating plenty of chances and taking them. As we reach the 37th minute. Blackwood Beatty with the throw in. Tiella Weeder to Smith, to Georgia Foot. Foot, that is a delightful ball, wonderful stuff, and it's Wells who's made the charging run. It was Cox Haynes, sorry. Almost in, but some of these balls Lucy and Georgia Foot have played today, absolutely outstanding. They are picking this Lions defence to pieces, but the Lions have a chance of their own here perhaps through Clifford, who again couldn't find a way around a Lucy Foot. Blackwood Beatty and Reimer, and she'll surely just send it down the line for Gorry to run onto. Just let her go back and collect, and now she can turn and back her wheels in against Dadswell. Swings it in. Oh, Weeder's touch just took it away from Cox Haynes, I reckon. Wells making a charge forward here, the fullback. Cox Haynes, Lucy Foot in space. This is dangerous when Lucy Foot's in space, but she gets it wrong on this occasion, skewing that one just wide of the mark. It was a well-worked move from Ulverstone. They've been so good at that this year. Just opening up that space at the top of the box for the Foot sisters to run into. We saw Smith earlier on. And they've got some real talent with the distance shooting. And their MO. Brought so much success this season. Here's Lawson. Smith. Very versatile player, Smith. Ships it in there, looking for Tiella Weeder. Cox Haynes got it off it. Now Nellis has to chase back under pressure from Clark. Oh, Anderson coughs it straight up for Tatton. Tatton, will she make Anderson pay? Not quite. Anderson able to recover and just turn it past the post. And a few times today, it's a tough penalty area for the keepers. With the ball bobbling about there, and a sand trap in the middle. It's more like a golf course than a football pitch. And Anderson, scuffing the initial clearance, is able to get across and make a good save in coverage to deny Emil Tatton, who has had a couple of those one. That's the second chance she's had. As this one is curled to Laura Davis, floated over her head. Is that perhaps a free kick, or maybe even a penalty perhaps for the Lions? Jasmine Gorry now making Dadswell sweat on it, eventually retreats back to Gardner. Thought Mallory Clark got a bit of a kick, and she's still down, showing the after effects of that one. He's the Kingborough Lions winger. So we're going to have a bit of a drinks break while she gets some treatment. About 5 minutes away from half time. Ulverstone will just be looking to carry on. There's a replay that caused the discomfort. Some treatment now from the trainer. It'll be one where they'll just hope she can see out the next few minutes and then make a more informed decision at half time. Devonport strikers I've just noticed in the building. They'll follow taking on Kingborough Lions in the MPL. The trophy of their own set to be awarded post-game. So we have another look at this one. It's timed, and I tell you, probably just outside the box, but should have been a free kick to the Lions at the least. Quite a bit of penalty. Just outside, but in an area someone like Emil Tatton could have potentially done a bit of damage from. So eventually we'll get restarted here. Bit of a lull in proceedings before half time. A drop ball. Which we'll just poke into the corner there for Gardner. Looks like Mallory Clark is set to re-enter the fray immediately. So good signs there for the Lions. Straight back on there. Bit of a stinger, I suspect.
Christie, take it out. Go out. Width. Wide stand. Wide stand.
So the throw-in goes down the line there towards Moore. Grace Furness also there for the Lions, and they win the throw-in, which Moore will take. Yeah, a few minutes of added time after that stoppage as Foot smashes that one straight into her own teammate there, Wieder. Reimer, after behind Lucy Foot, still able to get back. Play a pass which puts the sister under all sorts of pressure. It's to make a pretty good sliding challenge to whisk it away from Laura Davis.
Stay wide, stay wide, stay wide.
Wieder coughed it up to Tatton, trying to skip around one. Now Smith. Again, Reimer. Lucy Foot turns and goes. And then plays the early ball looking for Jasmine Gorry. There's just Madison James back. She's able to cover. Smith to Foot. Those two so interchangeable in their roles, and this one too far ahead of Jasmine Gorry. The flag had been raised anyway. Long ball gives Davis something to chase, but Nellis always favoured. Comes across and puts it into touch for the throw-in. Throw in for Tatton. Couldn't quite pick out more. Tatton back on it. Now Lawson just lost it in the Davis direction. Tracking back was Smith. Wells works it back to Anderson. Look at the wind take a hold of that. It's nearly gone backwards, which does suggest it's only going to get tougher for the Lions in the second half. Even Ulverstone have been kicking into the teeth of this wind for the last 20 minutes or so since it really picked up. There's play allowed to continue here, and the cross will be easily collected by Anderson. And a near post. Clark unable to pick out a teammate, and we've got another Kingborough line down. That looks like Madison James, who's the latest to cop a bit of a knock. She's back to her feet fairly quickly though. Bit of a hobble. Let me know, long stoppage on this occasion. The line subs going through their paces. Fair chance they're going to be called into action. A couple of lines already copping knocks in this one. Turning and going here, but unable to get through the purple wall. Anderson punching it low. She's been hitting goal kicks quite low to try and get under the breeze, but it's invited danger a couple of occasions. Lucy foot now, Jasmine Gorry. She's timed to run well this time, Jasmine Gorry. They might not catch her. She's too quick for them. Great save, Gardner. Gets the foot out to deny her as Gorry was eyeing off yet another goal. And Pace just taking her in behind the defence. And that's a great piece of keeping from Gardner. Just waited as long as she could. Gorry just tried to knock it either side. Extending the leg. Wants Olivia Gardner. Gorry. Straight into the waiting hands there of Gardner. And it goes long. Christabel Moore. Now Georgia Foot. Cox Haynes on the right. Sends it in the Jasmine Gorry direction. Took a touch off a line and that plays in Gorry. Gorry turns and charges off once more. She's got a few options to cut it back to. One of them's Lucy Reimer, who probably went one past too many in the end, trying to tee up to Yellowita. And Gardner is able to pounce on that one. Gardner just knocking this one high. Taken down nicely by Laura Davis. Left it to Tatton, tried to return it, but again broken up. Georgia Foot. Down the line for Jasmine Gorry. Putting it out in front of her has been a strategy that is working very nicely indeed, but Gorry's end product lacking on this occasion. Unable to pick out Lucy Reimer, who just peeled off to the back post there. And surely we must be nearing the end of the first half here, although we did have a pretty long stoppage for the injury. Mallory Clark as Gardner looks this one straight to Smith. Now Wells to Foot to Nellis. Back to Georgia Foot. It goes to Anderson. Lofts it to Jasmine Gorry, who will opt to leave this one for Cox Haynes, who'll get there just in time. Now has four of them lining up in the middle. Deflected into the path of Gorry. And allowed to run in the end for Tatton. Tatton gets around Smith. She's got Clifford taking up a good position. Couldn't quite find her though. And they'll whack that one away. To think the half-time whistle imminent. Still scoreless in all three of the other Women's Super League games. So fair to say we are streaming the right one here today. Thrown in and repelled. Will fall the way of Georgia Foot. Drops it up to Smith. Sold Wells a little short though. Blackwood Beatty waited on that one, then saw it take a Warney-esque type wrong in there and go the other way. She was expecting it to. Nearly at the 50-minute mark. Though we did randomly start at 14 minutes, so the calculations could have been off on that one also. After our technical difficulties early, but fair to say the half is nearly over. And I might have been off by a minute or two, I'm going to guess. thankfully, we were able to get the stream off and running before the goal started. It was very nice of the Ulverstone girls just to wait till we were off and running to start the show, and it has been quite the viewing ever since, and they might not be done. Dadswell tracking that one down. Look at the purple wave rolling forward here. She started the scoring, Smith. She might grab a second, and she does it easy as you like. Smith stroking home her second. Not quite as eye-catching as the first, but a very composed finish that was. And it's now 4-0 before half-time. And they are running it right. The champions. They are putting the exclamation mark after 21 here today. Absolutely flying. Melanie Smith, you'd have to suggest, as well on her way to 3 votes from this one. Been fantastic for a defensive midfielder nominally. Scored 2 goals. So just pointing to the dominance of this Ulverstone team, the way they're able to push bodies forward. And that will be the end of the first half here at Lightwood Park on Coronation Day at the Den. It is Ulverstone storming to the perfect season. They lead 4-0 over Kingborough at half-time. They've been in complete command really since the opening exchanges. The Lions have had a couple of moments in attack where they've threatened, but on the whole, you've got to think that that is a fairly accurate reflection of the game so far, the scoreline. We'll have a look at the goals. Smith, well, we'll have a look at Smith's fourth one again, rather. Just stroking that one into the far corner. Make it 4-0 just before half-time there. And we'll leave you with the other 3 goals we saw. First one here, Jasmine Gorry teeing it up for Smith. 1 touch, then bang, picks out the top window. Lovely little finish there. 2 shots, both picking out the corners of the net. That's the perfect start for Ulverstone. Then Lucy Foote with a wonderful ball over the top here. Takes the defence out of the picture. Lucy Reimer controls. Bang, first time finish. Just took the defenders out of the equation, did Lucy Foote there, who's just been pulling the strings once again masterfully from the midfield. Then Jasmine Gorry, having been denied a fairly clear penalty about a minute earlier, gets the better of Dadswell. And I think the Lions were expecting the cutback to Lucy Foote. Gardner had just left a little gap there at the near post, which Jasmine Gorry spied and said, I'll take that. And then the goal we've just seen from Smith, her second to make it 4-0, holding off the attention of the defender and rolling it past Gardner. So that is the story of the first half here at Lightwood Park. Be back in around about 10 minutes' time with the second stanza.
keeping there from Olivia
Gardner, but all for naught. Lovely ball there, and Ulverstone are in business here as it's cut back again to Gorry. Gorry continuing to run. Jasmine Gorry just over the crossbar. Jasmine Gorry's got great speed and she gets there first. Centres it. Here's a chance for Smith. Oh, what a hit from Smith. Picks out the top window, and Ulverstone are off to the races here on Coronation Day at Lightwood Park. Tries the little back heel, but lacked the sufficient support there, Davis. So the points to Georgia Foot in that first real duel. She's onside. The flag stays down, and Davis trying to run in behind Nellis, who slides in and makes an outstanding block. Great ball that from Smith, and then slid through for Jasmine Gorry, who's tumbled down in the box and told to get up. Foot, and they might spring an attack here. The switching ball's on for Foot. That's what she wants to play, and she hits it to absolute perfection. Great chance for 2-0 here, and buried comfortably in the back of the net by Lucy Reimer. That's a wonderful move, and the situation under control before Clark can get there. Davis almost pouncing, and now Tatton just past the post. Anderson, Tatton just chips it up in front of Laura Davis, who's going to get there first. Anderson off her line here. She tries to catch her out, and a big chance here and missed. Oh, glorious opportunity for Mallory Clark. Just couldn't make the sufficient contact. A real let-off there from a tough angled shot as Lucy Reimer now chips this one to the back post. Just a little too much on it. Cox Haynes was arriving, trying to get in behind of Lawson. Does so successfully. Now takes it wide, driving to the byline, and the cross is blocked by Dadswell. Oh, and she takes it into her preferred right foot. That's surely a penalty. No. Well, I guess she took the record. She might have another chance here. She tracks this one down. Looks up. She's going to drive and go herself here. Jasmine Gorry. She does do it herself. Well, she gets a goal anyway. Perhaps a little bit of justice at play there. So Lions now on the attack. Cross. Won't be able to find Davis though, but it goes back to Georgia Foot, who's continuing to run. She's marauding forwards here, and that's a lovely ball for Jasmine Gorry, who took it down over the lines, increasingly under siege. Here's Georgia Foot, beats one. Georgia Foot drives straight at Gardner, who's able to get Cox Haynes. Lucy Foot in space. This is dangerous when Lucy Foot's in space, but she gets it wrong on this occasion. Skewing that from Clark. Oh, Anderson coughs it straight up for Tatton. Tatton, will she make Anderson pay? Not quite. Anderson able to recover and just turn it past the Laura Davis. Floated over her head. Is that really picked up? There's play allowed to continue here, and the cross will be easily collected by Anderson. And Gorry, she's timed to run well this time, Jasmine Gorry. They might not catch her. She's too quick for them. Great save, Gardner. Gets the foot out to deny her. A few options to cut it back to. One of them's Lucy Reimer, who probably went one past too many in the end, trying to tee up to Yellowita. A strategy that is working very nicely indeed, but Gorry's end product lacking on this occasion. Unable to pick out Lucy Reimer, who just peeled off. Dadsville tracking that one down. Look at the purple wave rolling forward here. She started the scoring Smith. She might grab a second, and she does it easy as you like. Smith stroking home her second. Not quite as eye-catching as
Yep.
Back for the second half here at Lightwood Park, and a welcome to Paul Hunts here joining in.
Hello, hello.
The second half, and something's caught your eye there right off the back.
Fantastic salad on the AR there. Wonderful work.
Yeah, it's well crafted lid, that one.
If you're going to put that on the main screen at half time, I'm going to notice it.
Immediately jumping out. Well, in the 45 minutes that preceded that salad, really catching the attention. It was all Ulverstone. They've been absolutely dominant in this one. Fully deserve their lead. They're playing some scintillating football, and a few people might have come down here today, had a look and gone, oh, let's see what this Ulverstone team is all about, and they've quickly learned just what this Ulverstone team is all about. There are other team lists. We didn't have a chance to get them out in the pre-game for you, obviously with a bit of a delay. There's the Lions line-up. We'll have a quick look at the Ulverstone team as well. No real surprises. Melanie Smith at the top there has scored 2 goals. Jasmine Gorry and Lucy Reimer the others. Jasmine Gorry is 2 goals shy of Lucy Johnson's single-season scoring record.
Something to look forward to in this second half. I managed to catch the first, third and fourth goals as we get underway here in the second half on my way down, and yeah, Melody Smith's first one was an absolute pearler, really picking out the cobwebs in the top corner. Not real much chance for the keeper to save that one, and hopefully more of the same. Jasmine Gorry, who I thought 3 weeks ago would have demolished that single season record, but just sliding hitting a dry patch for very high standards at the moment, so we'll see if she can get 2 more goals this afternoon.
Yeah, held off the score sheet last week despite the team scoring 4. And some others to do the heavy lifting in the goal scoring department. Of course, Ebony Sims scoring that dramatic late winner. On the bench today is Sims as the Lions try and build through the middle here. Dadswell carrying it forwards. Lucy Reimer decides to charge past Tatton here, and has got Jasmine Gorry unmarked in the middle, working backwards to Emil Tatton. And she's able to collect here, and it'll be a bit tougher for them in this second half, Kingborough. This wind has picked up even more so, and they're kicking right into the teeth of it as Reimer gets to the byline, puts the cross in, has a couple in there. Will be worked back to Weeder. It's Lucy Foot, finessed one. That was blocked there by Lawson behind for a corner.
Yeah, I wouldn't underestimate the wind out there. It's a pretty cold wind coming off the far end of this ground, the ground where this corner's been taken. As you can tell, that corner flag is struggling to stay in, and as Gorry is over the corner kick, going near post, over the head of Foot, nearly cleared. It gets stuck in the sand down there at the far end. Wells knocks it back in. Reimer picking it up on the left-hand side, trying to go inside. Tried to find Smith, and then quite the pirouette between the Kingborough and Ulverstone player there, resulting in a free kick to Ulverstone. Staying down for a little while longer is Lucy Reimer. We saw in the first half a bit of a long delay in proceedings. Hopefully Reimer can get back to her feet quickly.
Yeah, seems to be struggling a little bit there. Reimer had a pretty good first 45. Mel Gorry out there checking on his charge. Back to her feet now, so that's a good sign.
Can't tell if that was a serious attempt from Georgia Foot there to call for a substitution of her teammate.
They've got Ebony Sims on the bench if they do need to make a switch.
Handy player to have on the bench, especially after last week's heroics. I don't think she'll quite need the heroics this week, though.
Looking far more comfortable, isn't it? So, no shock that chasing that record. It's Gorry on the free kick duty. She stands this one up to the back post and always drifting wide there. Just got under a little. The wind picking that one up, but I think we might see a change in policy from Ulverstone in this half and get the ball to Gorry.
Well, they did tend to play a lot through early in the season, so it's not a complete change in their style. But I think Yeah, definitely. I think I reckon Lucy Foot knows the stats out there as well, and she'll be trying to marshal as many through balls in as possible to Gorry.
Like any good striker, Gorry, she follows her goals very closely. She'll know how many she needs, don't you worry about that. We'll see some real eagerness, I suspect, and the other factor is, could the votes yet be important from this one? Ulverstone, you fancy, are going to have a few in the conversation later tonight. Here's Tielawida, works it to an offside Jasmine Gorry, who was caught straying a few times in the first half.
Which doesn't surprise me, as last week there was a few times as well. Up at Launceston City, really likes to play on the last defender, does Gorry. Goal kick taken in the Smith direction. Foot gets in the way. And the captain plays it all the way back to the keeper. Under pressure, immediately goes round the striker. It's very, very game work there from the goalkeeper. Running at the back post. Good leg save again. Eventually, Foot clears it down the line, but geez, some real confidence being shown from the keeper there for Ulverstone.
Yeah, a couple of times in the first half they got in trouble as Clifford gets a toe on that one. Davis soldiering after it, and Nellis slides in, but it was a good leg save in the end from Anderson. I thought Kingborough were certainly to pull one back there, but stuck the leg out and made a very nice stop, Georgia Anderson, who has made a couple of saves today, just a couple of occasions where the distribution found wanting, but it's been able to recover and ultimately keep the ball out of the back of the net. Laura Davis working in the box here. If Tatton can find a way to work to her, she might go herself. Instead squares it up. A little deflection. Davis working back, and now Dadswell stands this one up, turns into a pretty good pass, and then the backspin takes it behind Davis. Slightly unlucky there. And Wells able to negotiate it. Works it to Weeder. Weeder to Reimer. Reimer just chips it out. That'll be gathered by Gardner at the back.
Gardner now under pressure from Gorry. Lays it out to James. Good intelligent pass there from James. Playing in Emil Tatton, but coming across as Wells. Foot just leaves the shoulder in as well there. Very nicely done. It's running down the line. Absolutely clatters into Emil Tatton. And it's one of the more obvious fouls we'll see. We're in the perfect position to judge that one from up here in the commentary box. Looking right over that one.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly subtle from Georgia Foot there. It's very much a no-nonsense style defender. Physical player.
Did the defender's trick where you accidentally fall on the opposition player as well, I think. Yeah, right in the shoulder.
Classic centre-back move, that one. So, free kick to be swung in by Dadswell. That's going to be retaken.
Okay.
I thought that was the most curious decision I'd ever seen a centre-back make from Emily Nelson, just reaching up and punching it away under no pressure, but apparently it's going to be retaken.
I was more thinking, what on earth could Dadswell possibly committed there?
It'll be taken. This is
that's a bit pedantic.
A little bit of pedantry on display here, but eventually we'll get Dadswell to swing this one in. And after all that, it's really worth the big build-up.
So we have a look at the assistant referee's flag. It is blowing a gale out there. Plus, I'm trying to make it Dadswell feel slightly better about that free kick. So we have a substitution by the looks of it. Lucy Reimer going off. Is that number 2 coming on, I think?
Shelby Aiken has come on for Reimer. And Ebony Sims is replacing Cox Haynes there.
Is that a new pair of boots for Ebony Sims? They look a decidedly lot brighter than last week.
She's either cleaned them or bought some new ones. They're very loud.
I mean, I'm assuming it's the team buying us some after saving their undefeated season last week.
That would be well and truly warranted. An absolute magical moment that from Sims, and looks like it's going to be slightly easier for them today. No such worries, no need for late minute heroics to preserve that record. Here is Sims. Sends it wide for Jasmine Gorry. Gorry decides to burn off a defender and charge in the box. She might go all alone. Good save, Gardner. Gets down, makes herself big and denies Gorry. It's the second time today she's made a big stop on Jasmine Gorry.
It's a great save. Jasmine Gorry bursting into the box. Maybe could have hit it there and then really narrowed down the angle. Went to go through the keeper's legs from that situation, did Gorry, but Gardner did very well. And then copped a bit of a blow from Gorry afterwards as well for her troubles. And Jasmine Gorry not taking this corner kick in the box. Trying to get that goal, and it goes in her direction, but a bit too much sauce on that one from Georgia Foot. And it'll roll out for a goal kick. But as you can see, they really are playing through Jasmine Gorry here.
Yep, she's very involved in their attacks at the best of times. And they've got a mission to try and get a couple more. Expect that to go into overdrive, but she's not one who's normally short of chances in games, and her pace is really troubling this Lions defence. As Gardner's goal kick will be picked off and swung back towards Lucy Foot. Let it run. She might win it back in the end. Some good work in midfield, but eventually coming through with Smith, having a strong game. Is Melanie Smith, has 2 goals. Might go the Lions, but Will was able to shield this one out of play. No issues there whatsoever. Now the throw for Vida. Lions able to recover it there. To Smith.
I think Kingborough's biggest issue they're going to have in this half is just getting out from goal kicks. The wind is really swirling down towards that corner, and it's really going to roll pretty much towards the interchange benches and into where our camera is. It's a nice 1-2 between Smith and Foot. Looks to play in Aitken. Gardner has that one covered. And if Ulverstone decide to press up high on the Kingborough defence, they might get even more chances here in this second half.
Yeah, we saw Anderson struggle a little bit with the wind in the first half. Opted to take a number of goal kicks and clearing kicks quite low to try and avoid that factor. We'll see how Gardner goes for it. She pops this one down there, controlled and rolled back in the centre half, but immediately Blackwood Beattie's able to pounce on it. Sims, that's far wide on the right as you can get. It's well done in the end. It's going to be Lawson winning the throw in for the Lions. Played it off Sims. Throw in. Sims looking for Jasmine Gorry. Robbed of it by Emil Tatton. Turn lost it. Now Lucy Foot weaving one way then the other. Then got a foot on it. It's all rather scrappy just at the moment. Eventually Weeder tries to spring Jasmine Gorry. Sims. Well defended Lawson. The scrap really continuing here. Neither team able to keep a hold of the ball. Eventually Smith, who's on a hat-trick, opts to pass instead for Gorry, who cuts it back and wins a corner.
Really good outcome there for Jasmine Gorry. She's probably not going to quite score from that tight angle, so to win a corner, allowing herself to be in the box. And as soon as I came up with that theory, she goes and takes this corner kick, so there went that idea.
Can't shoot from a corner, can you?
Well, we've saw a goal a few weeks ago in the NPL. Was certainly not going to get that one from Gorry, but it's in the Sims direction and deflected out by Mallory Clark. So Gorry will get another opportunity. I mean, if she was a left footer, you could imagine it swinging into the back corner. I think it was Iski Van Dorn in NPL the other week.
Against Kingborough, yes. That one swung near post. And again, clattered away there. Maybe Ulverstone aren't quite as committed to getting Jasmine the 38 as we are. The game at 4-0, the perfect season debate settled. Really, that's what's going to happen. Now all the interest really is, can she set this single season scoring record?
Be unlike the media to overhype particular events.
Not in our nature.
Nah. I mean, you know, you wouldn't live stream trial events or anything.
I was wondering how long it would take before we got a Bolt reference in there. Lucy Foot with the header. Just wide of the post.
For those of you playing at home, it was the 57th minute mark, or 12 minutes since I came on commentary.
It would have been the 12th minute mark of the first half, I'm certain.
Yeah, you're not wrong. As we see a double substitution here from Ulverstone. I think it's Elizabeth Wells, the first one coming off.
Yeah, Wells and Blackwood Beatty, replaced by Samantha Hardy and Lily James. So there's your two subs. There's the two switches that have been made. Ulverstone shuffling the deck a bit now and making sure all their subs get a bit of a run out.
Good to see. It's a long trip down here. I think it'd be the longest league road trip in the state, I'd imagine. So,
yep.
And good to see Ulverstone giving everyone a run out. Reminds me, I was meant to follow up on that. What's the longest road trip in Tasmanian football? That was a conversation I had up here about a month ago. I haven't bothered to research that, so I must do that. Always an off-season project.
Probably be Somerset, I'd imagine.
Got into a very heavy debate about what's further, Woodbridge or Huon Valley's ground, and it needed to involve a map as that one goes into the box. And chasing that one down in the end is Ulverstone, so retrieving that one. Well, looking to play it back to Sims, ends up going back to Georgia Foot. Plays a strong ball through the box, but Gorry not able to get on the end of that one. It'll be another goal kick to Kingborough. Yeah, the end result was Somerset with one of those Huon teams, but couldn't figure out which one. But anyway.
Unlikely to meet in league competition, I'd have thought.
Very. It might be a first round of a Seljack Cup qualifying round potentially. If one of the two social teams in the Huon Valley entered one year. Huon Valley Juniors I've seen around here again today, probably on ball duty as they were a couple of weeks ago. That one's gone forward to Phoebe Clifford, who's turned around two defenders and doesn't win the foul. Pretty strong challenge on Clifford, and Ulverstone now trying to break away. It's a good interception by Clark. Now to Tatton, who's really been in the mix of everything here today. And Georgia Foot again. I think she's trying to knock over every single Kingborough player here today. Dadswell goes to Furness. Dispossessed by Foot, and Jasmine Gorry's onside on this occasion. Jasmine Gorry one-on-one with the keeper. Big strong palm from Olivia Gardner to deny Gorry a chance to get closer to that goal scoring record. Now be Lucy Foot. Playing it through the middle and out wide. Oh, just completely tripping over the ball then. Was the Ulverstone defender. Calls that one running out. Play on here. McIntosh down on the wing. Eventually Georgia Foot just heaves it clear. Really good save from Gardner on that occasion.
Yeah, glorious chance for Gorry to move within one of that record, but tried to repeat the trick of going near side, and Gardner, guessing correctly, gets the palm out and makes a good stop as James knocks it back to Georgia Foot. A substitute here is James, and she lofts this one for Gorry to give chase to, and she somehow gets to her first and then tries to get the better of Lawson, lays it back to Lucy Foot. Lucy Foot to Samantha Hardy. In the middle room here is Hardy. Hardy back to Foot. Decides not to shoot, carries it into the box, and in the end couldn't get past Grace Furness. Bouncing back on it was James. Swings it in the Gorry direction, but clasped by Gardner. So nothing doing there. Ticked past an hour now. Gardner able to deal with that one fairly comfortably and gets a pretty good purchase on the kick too, given the wind. Georgia Foot got it to her sister though, Lucy Foot. Gorry unable to control. Smith beaten to the ball by DeSmit. Lucy Foot showing strength to get the better of DeSmit. For a bit of pinballing action there. Now Georgia Foot takes off one of those marauding runs she so loves and slides it back inside for Jasmine Gorry! Wide of the post. Oh, Gorry so very, very close. But she's being left frustrated here in the second half.
Oh, finally got it past the keeper, just past the outstretched right leg of Gardner and then off the post. And Clifford clearing the danger at Malgorry's head in his hands on the sideline. And the Smith is now moved to left back position. Got the double here today, and now at left back. It's into the box, and Gardner gets there in front of Sims. We'll see if he can get the same amount of purchase on this kick. Laura Davis playing on the shoulder of Emily Nellis. Goes in that direction, but can't get past Hardy. Foot to Gorry. Gorry's in on goal here. Another chance for Jasmine Gorry off the post again. Oh, she collects a rebound and finally slots it straight down the middle. Jasmine Gorry hit one post on the left-hand side a minute ago and fires it against this one, but on the third time of asking, Gorry finally gets a goal.
Goal number 37 for the season. Hit her firmly and thought she was going to be left frustrated again, but the keeper out of the picture at this point is able to butter up and get her goal. It's her second of the day. She's now one shy of equaling that 38 goals Lucy Johnson set last year. And the way she's gone the last 5 minutes, she could have 50 by full time, provided she just work the post a little better, but the chances are flowing now, Paul.
It was almost like the perfect wall pass just there before, as we have Claire Edwards coming on. Looks like Phoebe Clifford, looked like she still had the captain's armband on Phoebe Clifford as she went off. We'll have to follow up on that one as DeSmit goes back to Dadswell. Dadswell down the line wants to find Davis, who wants to make the run in behind Georgia Foot, who miscues this one. Laura Davis on the turn. Good save initially, and McIntosh is there to poke home. An immediate response from the Kingborough Lions. And pretty much right from the kickoff, it was 5 or 6 passes down the right-hand side. A little bit of a miscue there from Foot. Got a palm to an Anderson, but McIntosh is there to fire home.
Yeah, well worked in the end. Rare error from Georgia Foot there at the back. Not something we see too often, but Erica McIntosh has made an impact since coming on here in the second half, and gets the goal there. Finish from close range. 5-1 now the score. Some signs of life for the Lions, and they needed that. There was the danger this was just going to become an absolute rout the way it was trending. They've got one now, and we'll see if they can build and maybe get 1 or 2 more before full time. Sims shipping it forwards. The wind absolutely howling as Gorry pounces. The rain not too far away either, I don't think, Paul Hunt.
As we turn our heads to the southerly direction, it's a few drops on the side of the window and a lot of cloud coming in from there, and the fire pots are now circulating as well, so the locals clearly know when the cool change is coming in, as Hardy collects the ball, looks for Gorry, but well intercepted from Kingborough. Look to find Davis. Nellis gets almost her first touch of the second half. Sims to Blackwood Beattie. Down the line, Gorry again at the near post. It overrun and nearly falls to Aiken at the back post. And Gorry really sniffing that opportunity at the moment, Jasmine Gorry. Good near post run, has completely fresh aired it.
Yeah, not what you want when you're in search of goals like that. Not to be. But.
And now it's Smith who's on the double. That one goes over the head of Clark. Gardner will come out to collect in front of the hero from last week, Sims. Gardner collecting to roll it out this time to Emil Tatton, who turns fantastically in the centre of the park. McIntosh is calling for it. Goes in the McIntosh direction. She'll get there first, but a great sliding challenge in the end from, I think that's Blackwood Beattie on the right-hand side. Absolutely textbook stuff coming across.
Hobart Zebras have just taken the lead over Launceston City. 1-0 there. Still 0-0 later on the piece between South Hobart and Uni, and my person at Clarence Torino has gone radio silent, so we'll try and get you a score for that one in a moment. As McIntosh curls this one in. Davis Turning, Georgia foot bundled over, and we'll get the free kick.
Yeah. We had some more communication equipment being blown over at Clarence like we had a few weeks ago. Certainly the wind's picking up here. It's a nice through ball in the Laura Davis direction. Doesn't quite get a hold of it, the keeper, and lays it back to DeSmit. And eventually Nellis will stride forward and heave that one clear. And Jasper Gorry's in a pocket of space here. She's onside. Gorry coming across as Mallory Clark. Gorry still there, deflected and wide for a corner kick. From one end to the other in a heartbeat. Jasmine Gorry shooting from 12 yards out, and I think I'm at about 6 Jasmine Gorry shots in this second half so far. We need a separate table in our stats, I think, for Gorry shots.
They're mounting, that's for sure. South Hobart have struck late and taken a 1-0 lead over University. Isabel Ferrier with the goals. This one's gone near post, deflected, and then the touch will mean there's another corner. Look at that corner flag. Yeah, far right corner there. We might get a look at it in a second.
It's like the Leaning Tower of Kingborough.
That is nearly horizontal. Extraordinary.
Glad we're in one of the few grounds in southern Tasmania with a very well-equipped commentary box.
Georgia foot skips past one and chips it into the hands of Gardner, who's able to gather that one. And she gets him moving quickly with a bomb. Nellis up against Davis. Bounced off of Davis. Nellis defending really well. Good duel that one, and Nellis takes the points. Although perhaps winning the war was Davis, as they'll get the throw in a good position.
Yeah, they're eventually swapping around the centre backs, and Smith lobs it forward to Gorry, who tries to head it on to herself, but a bit too much purchase on that one. As most of the fans have taken a run for cover in front of us. It's heaved down the line in the Tatton direction. Falls to McIntosh, who gets bundled over unceremoniously, and Gorry's now trying to make a run, and it's dropped from the keeper and then scooped wide off the post, and it's offside. Well, that was nearly miss of the season candidate in the very last round. And also denying Gorry a potential goal was a risky business.
Sparing the pushes of Gardner there. I'm not really sure why the flag was raised though. Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Absolutely nowhere near it. So yeah. I was looking in the centre of the park, so I didn't quite see where they started their respective runs from, the Ulverstone players. It's, I reckon it would have caused to raise the ire a bit there had that one been cherry-picked out of Gorry's pocket. That would have equalled the all-time record.
Yeah, that would have, and contentious moment. Let's have a look here. It's all flicked forward by foot. Well, she's well and truly behind Madison James at that point, and then
I mean, it seems like Dadswell's calling for Aiken being in front of her, just judging by what the players are doing. That's the only thing I can really think of, that it's not on Gorry and it's on Aiken.
Possibly. Either way, Gardner I think will be happy with that result as the Lions try and ask some questions back the other way. Laura Davis is going to have to work to track this one down. Puts it straight into Smith. Now to Smith. And we'll go behind for a Lions corner. So we've gone past 72 minutes here.
Trotting over to take this one is Emil Tatton. Covers plenty of ground in the centre of the park. Does Tatton. Kingborough are opting with the interesting ploy of having one player in the 18-yard box for a corner. Very, very bold strategy, and funnily enough, that'll be flicked right to one of the 5 Ulverstone players, but in the end, McIntosh nearly got there. McIntosh. Well, I wish I took a photo of that corner setup because it was exceptionally unique. You had McIntosh on the keeper. I think you had Davis at the D, and no one else within a bull's roar of the 18-yard box.
She's waiting outside. Lucy Foot, meanwhile, with a chance at the other end. Couldn't quite pick out the far post. Wasn't far away, though, Lucy Foot. And, yeah, it was an interesting setup. Everyone kind of waiting outside the box. I think they're hoping just play one in low to get cleared to the top of the box. And maybe we'll have someone waiting there because they're all waiting outside. It was very strange.
yeah, to have, you know, 4 players who nominally would be inside the box, 5, and then, you know, in defence it does fall to a Kingborough player as we go back to live pitches. Aitken's going to try and keep this one in. Does so. Looking, goes behind Hardy. Is to Lucy Foot. Gorry's lurking on the penalty spot. That one's gone wide from Hardy for another goal kick, and the who was on ball collection duty down that far end has been hard at work in this half.
So have a look at that one going wide off the mark there. Smith unable to this one, although she will get the throw in here. Melanie Smith. Fine game here this afternoon, and indeed a very good season. Here's Hardy. Shifts it forward for Gorry. Gorry gets there first. Has she got a corner for a team there? She hasn't, because the offside flag was up yet again. So the Devonport Strikers just wandering down here at the near end, getting ready for the second game of this doubleheader. And the second of 2 trophy presentations set to be staged. Here's Hardy. Across to Lucy Foot. Lucy Foot to Georgia Foot. James now with it. Deflected. Comfortably into the hands of Gardner. So we reach the final 15 minutes in these 2 sides' Super League seasons. And one that will live long in the memory for Ulverstone. A famous season this. There to go, 21 wins from 21 games. Quite extraordinary achievement. Gorry chasing one final piece of history, works it back here to James. Showed too much of it though. It'll be dealt with in the end.
We'll go to Georgia Foot, who's jinking around too and gets a head up and looks for Gorry and finds Gorry, who can turn and shoot here. Oh, and Gorry's done it! She equals the record for single season goal scoring in the Women's Super League, and probably her best finish of the afternoon.
Yeah, she's buried that one quite convincingly and draws level with Johnson's mark of 38 from last season. Now can she go on and take it in her own right? Some lovely work there from Lucy Foot, or Georgia Foot, sorry, in the build-up. Slides it through, stays on time crucially. And that's a very tidy finish indeed. Just tried to hit that one with a little bit more conviction, I think, after going for placement the past couple of occasions. And Gorry strikes once more. And that is her hat-trick for the day as well.
All we need now is Gorry Cam permanently down in the bottom corner for the last 15 minutes. You know, all the play so far in this second half for Ulverstone has been fed through their striker as Dadswell throws it in. Power on that one. I'm surprised it's come off Emil Tatton's knee and travelled about 25 metres. Now it'll be Smith, who's aiming for Hardy, who's storming through the centre, and that's where she ends up. Good ball from Hardy to the feet of Gorry, and a completely shanked clearance from Airlie Lawson, but keeper does well and gets good purchase on that one. Just with the wind, can sometimes mean miscued clearances, just spinning off or turning away a bit more. It's Nellis. Goes over the head to Aitken. Onside, but Dadswell comes across and recovers well. Now Gorry. At the top of the box is Jasmine Gorry. Back to Hardy. Gorry's in a pocket of space if they want to go in that direction, but Hardy gets beaten out in the centre of the park by Tatton and commits the foul after having lost the ball. It was on the far side with NBL teams warming up in pretty close proximity. And the soon-to-be new Lightwood Park pitch on that side is McIntosh. Lays it back to Tatton. Trying to find an option is Tatton and eventually finds Furness, but she only finds Hardy. Good press from Lawson. It's James down the line to Sims. Clark comes across. It falls to Gorry. Jasmine Gorry out on the right wing. She goes to the byline, cuts it back, and the keeper comes out and claims well. Does Olivia Gardner.
An update from Clarence Taruna, 3-1 in favour of Taruna now. So apparently goals have been coming from everywhere in the second half, and things have opened up a little bit there.
Also like to check Olivia Gardner kicking that from inside her own 18-yard box then. She seemed about 2 yards out from up here. It's just the angle we're on. Sims does some good work down the sideline. Lovely turn from Tatton. Lays it back to Clark. Turns it over to James. Georgia Foot will put her foot on it and try and find a teammate. Finds sister Lucy, goes back. Gorry's trying to stay on side. Flag stays down for the moment and shoots, and Gardner saves Dadswell. Does. Probably should have just put a foot through that one, but tried to shield it out for a corner, and eventually it ended up that way. But again, Gorry making a pretty intelligent run to get behind Clark. It's always difficult on that tight angle. Dadswell used her body quite well, and then the spin and the wind took it out for a corner kick. Just taken from Georgia Foot low to the near post. Smith, who's also on a hat-trick here this afternoon. Eventually cleared by Kingborough.
Nellis to take over. Some urgency, so perhaps they are trying to get this outright record. Laura Davis has scored plenty of goals herself this season. She scored some pretty spectacular ones, and she's off and running here. She's got some support. Will she use it? She's got 2 to cut back to. Really well thought out there from Davis, and McIntosh into the roof of the net makes it 6-2. It's a nice goal. It's little more than consolation, but full credit to Laura Davis there. Many an attacker would have just gone themselves. She held it up, knew the support was arriving, and picked it out perfectly.
Great awareness from Davis. I think she wanted to shoot there initially, but Smith made plenty of ground, and you could just see her get her head up there, size up the options. I'd say, well, that's a really good finish. Erica McIntosh right into the roof of the net. Very difficult for any keeper to get there in such quick time. So it's 6-2 to Ulverstone. They're all about getting Jasmine Gorry one more goal here this afternoon. 10 minutes to do that. Surely if there's a penalty, she'll be taking it as well. There's Foot. Lucy Foot finds Hardy. Tries the chip through ball to Gorry, but Clark clears it away as far as Tatton. Tries to find McIntosh, but well cut out there from Lucy Foot, and it falls to Ebony Sims. Be out for an Ulverstone throw.
So the final 10 minutes now. Here's Gorry, presenting short. And turning on a dime, very nicely done. Looks it further afield to Lucy Foot, tries to take on a marker and beats her. Lucy Foot tried to return it to Gorry. Now squares it up for Sims, that was charged down well. But the danger not past Sims with a fresh airy. And eventually they'll be able to just get it on out of there. And Georgia Foot gets back onto it. Lays it back for Nellis. McIntosh and Davis have combined quite nicely up top in this second half for the Lions. Unfortunately, it's further down the field where their problems have been. Not able to deal with it all. Nellis's inadvertent deflection going perfectly into the path there of Davis. There's a one-man army there surrounded by purple shirts. Samantha Hardy taking it through the middle. And this might fall. It's into the path of Gorry. It does. Try the snapshot. And was never likely to beat Gardner with that effort.
Watch Nellis and Foot. They've been giving an absolute tackling masterclass here in this second half. As it's a nice through ball in the Davis direction, but a bit too much purchase on it. Keeper will collect comfortably. It's always dangerous putting that amount of spin on it with the hill and wind. Be out for a Kingborough throw. Dadswell throws it down the line in the looking for DeSmith, who's up against Smith. Thought the last touch came off an Ulverstone player there, but AR thinks differently. Smith is looking for some options and finds Gorry. Turning the defender is Jasmine Gorry. Still going is Jasmine Gorry. It's cynically scythed down whilst running in on goal, and that is a certain slice of cheddar.
It's as blatant yellow as you see from Mallory Clark there.
Mallory Clark.
Just hacking down Jasmine Gorry in full flight, who's back on her feet now. Let's have a look. First one. Knocks it past her and just sticks out the leg, and that is a stinger. That is right on the kneecap. That would have hurt.
Yes, so I was talking up the tackling masterclass from Ulverstone centre backs. Not quite the best exhibit of it there from Mallory Clark.
Back on her feet now though, because she's sensing a chance for that outright record. I reckon the shot just in front of the keeper, and she'll try and get a rebound. Well, that was indeed the plan, but it wasn't Georgia Foot's best free kick. Too wide. Just needed to make sure it was on target really, because the sand trap there in front of Gardner makes life very difficult for keepers if you can just get the ball skipping in front of them. There's McIntosh. It's round Hardy, couldn't get round Foot. Tatton. Looked off it by Lucy Foot. Back to Smith. Getting past for Gorry. Now Sims. Lovely ball from Lucy Foot for Sims. We'll chase after this one. And chip it toward Gorry, well defended. Gorry gets a foot on it, but and always favoured to win that one. Smith on a hat-trick. Tatton brought down. Advantage played, and they'll chip it over the top for Davis to run onto. But Anderson off her line, and wasn't the most convincing clearance. She still could be caught out here. That's from miles out. It's hit the post and spins in. What an absolute stunner from McIntosh. An audacious effort has picked out the gap just above Anderson. And that is a stunning goal. A hat-trick for McIntosh. What an impact she's made. And it needed some assistance from the post, but God did it deserve it, Paul Hunt.
Oh, I tell you what, if we could introduce an award at awards night for hat-trick of the season, I'm voting for Erica McIntosh. From at the centre circle, it was looking like it bounces off the post and then back spins in. I don't think I've ever seen that from a shot that far out before. Ever. That is absolutely extraordinary from Erica McIntosh. Whilst Gorry's also got a hat-trick, giving the game ball to McIntosh. That effort. That is a superb strike from that far out. And a bit of luck. Not just going off the post and jinking wide, but then falling into the sand trap and backspinning into the goal. Almost felt like slow motion from up here in the commentary box.
So you reckon add that one into the video and see how many votes you can get in 2 hours and 12 minutes?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's a goal of the season contender right there.
I'll get all my Russian bot friends on there and we'll see how we go.
So Lucy Foot picks it up here. Back to Nellis. Hardy. Smith. McIntosh has lit this second half up. And they might not be done here, the Lions. They could pull it back to 6-4 here. Lauren Davis couldn't get round Anderson. It was McIntosh again, sorry. Going for number 4. From the number 4. And Anderson with a vital tackle there. Now, back on Jasmine Gorry watch. Can she set the record? She's got the better of her marker and drives it over the top. That was inches away. Well, plenty of excitement at the death here. In the dying embers of the Super League season, the entertainment is top draw right now here at the Den.
Does this season have to stop, or can we just play another round of this? It's a great challenge. Hesitating there for a moment was McIntosh. Was in two minds whether to curl it around the keeper or to physically dribble around the keeper, and in the end, it's very, very slight hesitation gave Anderson an opportunity, and then down the other end, Jasmine Gorry shoots that one. It's not far over as well. She's got 2 minutes to try and get that goal. Sims charges that one down. Kingborough a bit boxed in here, and Gorry picks it up. It's going to have to be audacious from this area, but it does fall in front of the keeper. Nearly getting there was Aitken. I think that was a shot from Jasmine Gorry. Lucy Foot calls for handball, not heeded. Back to Georgia Foot. Gorry's in a pocket of space in between the centre backs. And luckily, Furness came across to put Lucy Foot under some pressure. And it's Ulverstone really trying to get it to Gorry here at the moment. It's Smith to Nellis. Manages to find Lucy Foot. Gorry wants it short. Tries to play the 1-2. Dadswell reads it well. To Smith. His touch off the knee. Just goes a bit too far out of her grasp and will roll out for a throw. Gorry looks like may not be... Well, I mean, it's been her day. She's got a hat-trick and equalled the record, but she may not have the record outright.
Can't have everything in life.
No.
She might yet have more hardware. Certainly will be taking out the golden boot. There's no doubt around that, but will certainly be up there. The Optus Medal and the Players MVP Awards after a season like this. And have to feature, as will Lucy Foot, who could take home absolutely everything theoretically. She's up for Coach of the Year, would be one of the favourites for the votes. And Jasmine Gorry's looking for the record. Gardner sharp off her line. She got my vote for goal of the year. She could well come home with a swathe of awards, Lucy Foot. As James trying to make some inroads down the right.
Must do that in the break-in games. Haven't voted yet.
Still time as Gorry chips. You've got 2 hours and 8 minutes, people. And whoever's leaving at 4 o'clock when I head back to the office to make some very last-minute adjustments to the presentation shall be the winner. A few more votes to add in.
Oh, of
scripts
course.
to do, etc.
Oh.
Love that 90-minute gap.
It's like the end of the transfer window in terms of manic. You need live crosses like Sky Sports style.
Yeah, car interviews.
Who will be the Harry Redknapp of this year's awards night?
Bit of wheeling and dealing. Here's Georgie Foot. Cross to Smith. We're in stoppage time now. So it looks like Gorry may well be settling for a share of the record, but 38 goals in a season. Just a phenomenal amount. I didn't think anyone was going to touch Johnson's mark from last year before this season. Didn't think the Zebras' undefeated season would be beaten anytime soon either, as Jasmine Gorry charging off in here one last time, and she's got the better of Clark. This is it for the record. Jasmine Gorry hits the post again! Did she run over a black cat? Or kill one with a mirror? What is going on? 3 times she's hit the post. Jasmine Gorry. Wait.
Oh, the inside. It's a coat of paint in it.
Oh, she's stiff. She's very, very stiff, Jasmine Gorry.
I don't know what voodoo or magical power Lucy Johnson has put on Jasmine Gorry today. Oh, she's in again, Gorry. She's offside. Oh, she puts it wide anyway. Oh, there's some serious voodoo at work here against Jasmine Gorry this afternoon. She could have had 45 goals for the season if she'd hit them all today. Offside anyway.
It looks like it's just going to elude her, but what a season she's had, and what a game today, and what a game this has been. 6-3. I tell you what, every time I've come down to the den to watch this Kingborough Super League team, I've been wildly entertained. But today is all about Ulverstone, who have done it. They have completed the perfect season in the Women's Super League. 21 wins from 21 games. An absolutely extraordinary effort. Got to applaud it. And the Lucy Foots, Mel Gorry, and everyone involved there with the Super League program. From 5th place last year, they've nearly got as many wins this season as they got points for all of last year. It's been an extraordinary turnaround, and they are the worthy champions. And they're about to be given their trophy. It's first official duties here for the new big boss at Bulkley. Just going out there with the champions signage. And they will be presented with the Super League for 2018. How sweet it will be for this Ulverstone team. A truly dominant season. And I think, I'm not sure where this presentation is going to be from our perspective. This doesn't augur well where that sign's been put.
You've got every single person in the centre circle, both teams, photographers, referees, camera, additional camera, and then we've plonked the sign down in front of us at the media box. So who knows what's going on here.
I think just waiting for the Prez, Bob Gordon, to come along with the champagne. A vital part of any celebration.
Very important and necessary addition to any title-winning celebration. And before we give all of our well-deserved attention and praise to Ulverstone, as you say, Kingborough, I think you've been down for the last 3 games down here at the Den, and I think I've been to 2 of the last 3, and geez, they've been entertaining. They are really a young side on the up with plenty of attacking flair. Laura Davis being the obvious person, but now with Erica McIntosh's performance this afternoon, another feather to add to their bow. And they have been in fine form this afternoon as Ulverstone gather together in the centre circle. Some Kingborough players have moved onto the field. That's what you're seeing in the foreground. Just for those out there who listen to us on Slice of Cheese for our Kingborough games often, this is pretty much the view we have from the commentary box here at Lightwood Park. You just had before. It's our additional camera on in the corner as Ulverstone go through the team song. Everyone getting there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you've even got a microphone?
There's actually a microphone.
Bob, you can. Is it connected?
Organising arrangements down on the sideline. Walter Pless's voices, as you can hear there, helping to arrange things down there. The doyen, Tasmanian football journalism. As Kingborough march off, but it's all about Ulverstone here this season. The applause you can hear in the background is Kingborough giving some applause to their supporters. They've been pretty loyal following down here at the Den to the Women's Super League team. They usually make a good day of it down here at Kingborough. Usually a Challenge League, Women's Super League and NPL type setup here most afternoons. We're just having some issues with the sign on this gusty day, as we've seen from that corner flag throughout the match.
Yeah, if you're having any doubts over the wind factor here, coming loud and clear through the microphone we've got down there for the presentation. It is howling through this ground right now. Eventually Ulverstone will come across and collect the Super League trophy.
Should probably do my goal voting while we wait for the presentation to start. It'd be a very good idea.
So the Ulverstone team now to hoist the trophy and celebrate this remarkable season. And Brad Cull from the Advocate down there. And
the big guns coming down for both presentations.
Big day for coastal football this. This is the moment that they've been waiting for here. Ulverstone, what a season they have had. And this is what it has all culminated in. The hoisting of the trophy. So Walter just running the show down there, so things will run very smoothly.
This could be the most efficient presentation for a while, now that Walter is in charge.
So there we go. Lucy Foot sliding in there. It's just occupied the front position there. Needs to be more central for mine, Lucy Foot.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go. Coach, player, star. Been a fantastic season as the Strikers just try and crash Ulverstone's moment here. But this is a moment for one team, about one team. What a side Ulverstone have been so far. Under Foot and Gorry. Looks like FFT President Bob Gordon just going to come across here and say a few words.
There we are. Quick assistance here.
Yeah, it's been a great season for Ulverstone, and obviously Lucy Foot with being coach then assistant coach, and just seen a goal of the year contender, and well, that's going to be hard to beat.
Yeah,
it's going to be very, very hard to beat. Some very good candidates in that lot, but she and indeed the entire Ulverstone team may just clean up tonight with the newly dubbed Optus medal on offer for the best player in the Super League this season. Good to see. Very good to see that it's more support for women's football here in Tasmania.
Yeah, I think it's the second full edition of the Super League. Obviously, you had the pilot edition, then the last 2 years and run with it. And look, I think both our champions have been great torchbearers for the women's game in the state. As I think we're finally ready to get underway now with the official presentation.
It's apparently the live streaming. Yeah, so you're all on live streaming, I think Andrew's doing. So don't feel at all nervous. So we thought we'd do the medals first. So congratulations to Ulverstone on your win, substantial win for the season. You've played well all year. You've done very well. So would you like to come up and get your medals?
Yes.
One by one. Well done. Well done.
Hang on up.
Almost there. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. We got enough? Yeah, we should have.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Well done. Well done. Well done.
One for the coach.
Okay. I'll give you a kiss.
Now,
Have a trophy.
yeah, do you want to present that, Bob? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys.
Right, well done. Oh, it won't take long.
Shut up.
Well done.
I can't do that.
You guys want to...
When we put this up. Yeah. Are you going to do it live for us?
I'm going to move away.
Thanks.
League The game is pretty much about to kick off behind them, so we'll be back with that one, possibly missing the first couple of minutes as soon as possible.
I don't know. How do I know? Yeah, well, I'll just leave it and I'll go here.